guys, and welcome to a new video. So in roughly 3.5-4 hours we're gonna have the league start of the Conquerors of the Atlas and also the Metamorph League. And today I want to talk about my league starter and the most recent patch notes and the developer manifesto and so on. So if you are not a guy that likes to read through it like I do, I personally read through it like before league starts. If I do so, I just like experience in some points like, hey, wait, they nerfed this. Shit, you know, like. But this time around, I read through everything, and if you didn't, basically the whole manifesto and this patch notes is all about nerfing ourselves, right? Nerfing a lot of stuff, also buffing some parts, obviously, but making the game harder. It means nerfing the exiles and buffing the mobs, the bosses, and so on. They're gonna have more armor, more resistance, more life, everything like that to make the game more challenging. This is basically the whole outcome of this manifesto as far as I see. Obviously, there are going to be some changes and buffs and I don't know what. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check out the developer manifesto and also the patch notes. But yeah, in the greater good, the TLDR is just like we get nerfed, they get buffed, make the game harder. I like it. So basically, I want to take this video to talk about my league starter, and it's going to be the Bane POP Occultist. So a lot of people liked the video when I uploaded. Like, let me check out here. We have the Bane POP Occultist video will be linked in the description below. So this was a build that I played back in the days with the Bane just looks off demolishing every single content, having some insane huge explosions, and I really liked this build. The playstyle was super fun, and that's why I want to give it another try. As I said in the video, it's probably going to be my league starter. And here we are. I just made two different skill trees. This is going to be the baseline. There is no items equipped, so the path of building will not be included because it's just completely empty, just a skill tree. Basically, I will start as a life-based occultist. So the main reason I want to talk first is why occultist, why dots, why not a bow build, and so on. So first of all, bow is probably 100% guaranteed to be the matter. Whether it's going to be ballistic builds or any kind of specific bow build that will come out ahead from all the others, we're going to see about that. But that's why I decided to make something different. The reason for that is a lot of bow-related things, whether it's bows, whether it's quivers, like evasion-based, whatever stats, you know, are going to be expensive, because if there is bow rework, there's going to be a lot of bow characters. We had the same in the Legion League. A lot of, like 80% of all players choose to go with any kind of Cyclone or melee-based type. I mean, the number is probably a little bit too high here. But anyways, the main message is, let's say 50% of all players went melee. In 3.6, in the caster leagues, 50% went caster. Last league, we had non-stop Spectre, zombies, and so on. So if we have the bow rework now, it's most likely to be any kind of bow matter this league. So that's why I want to stay away early on from any kind of attack-based build, because if you have like, let's say rings with like fizz added to attacks, for example, or anything that is attack-based is going to be expensive, because if we take a look at like an amulet with a lot of life, maybe fizz damage, multi-crit, whatever, that you use on like melee builds as well, are also going to count in for all the ranged attacks, right? Because it's an attack-based build. And that's why I said, you know what? I'm going to take my good old Essence Drain, Contagion, or Bane, or Soul Rend, whatever you want to play with the Chaos Dot, and I'm going to have a good league start. First of all, this build runs without any problems. You can have full rare equipped. I had this one as my league starter, like not this version, this is the Bane version. I had the Essence Drain version like a couple leagues ago. It was fantastic. I had the Shaper down on a 4-link, the Uber Elder down on a 5-link. I had no expensive gear whatsoever. The damage was really good. And it's a fast build as well, especially in this version as the Bane POP Occultist. You saw in the video how freaking fast it is, and in the start of the league you focus on mapping anyways. It has some great boss potential, so it's really easy to down like end game bosses because of like once you combine your chaos skills, like let's say you go Bane and Essence Drain, or you add Blight, or you add Soul Rend, or you add Wither Totems, or anything like that. Really good boss killer, super fast, tanky. It just offers everything. You can do lap with it, you can speed farm anything, you can do a magic finder out of it. The Occultist in this version is just an insane hybrid class here, right? And this is why I want to set my trusts back in this good old build that will bring me down to all content and farm whatever. And once this character should be done in about a week or two, whatever, but this time around I tried to bring this one early on to level 100 to see how things go. And then in later stages, once I farmed up the currency with a cheap build like that, then I can make some other fancy builds like a bow build or anything like that. But yeah, this is the life-based version. We're just going to go for some spell damage, some most area of effect, the power charge nodes, since we're going to take the forbidden power. And then in the other hand here, we have just like chaos modifiers, curse modifiers, then life damage over time, more life, and that's about it, right? So basically, it's all about area of effect, life, chaos damage over time multiplier, and that's about it. And then once we have gathered some gear and maybe we're gonna make a transition to the what's it called, Chevron's wrappings to go low life, we could basically go to an ES based character which just keeps the spell damage nodes on the left side. So we start in the energy shield area, take the area of effect. We're gonna put away the power charges. So in the live version, I'm going to use power charges because I'm going to use the forbidden power to actually generate the power charges. But once I go the energy shield based version, I want to take the Vile Bastion for stun immunity, for the ES recharge and so on. And I want to still have Malediction. So either you take Void Beacon or you put this away and get still Forbidden Power. But I think in a low life version, you don't really rely on that power charges too much. And this would be probably the final version for killing off the hardest bosses in the game. So the thing is, with the Bane POP Occultist, I'm here using dual obliteration wands. So if you take a look at the gear here, dual obliteration wands, they usually go for, I don't know, like 1 to 5 chaos, somewhere at that range early on in the league, and they are massive, okay? And with this episode here, I did already kill the Uber Elder with the obliteration wand. So no multi-modded high damage tier 1 chaos dot multiplier, something like that. In this version, with the speed farming build, I reached about 500,000 Shaper DPS on a dot base, and it was absolutely no problem to kill the Uber Elder, although I was wielding like obliteration wands. So in this version, once I go low life, I will have way more damage, and then I'm probably gonna, as I said in the video, weapon swap to a bow and a nice quiver or something, and have like a dual 6-link running. So the main setup, what I'm going to use is Bane, and I will use Bane in my chest for the with a dual obliteration wands. But once I encounter one of these endgame bosses, maybe Guardian, maybe Cortex, maybe Uber Elder, or the Awakener or something like that, I'm just gonna weapon swap to another 6-link setup. That's probably gonna be, I think it's going to be Essence Drain, just because of the regen we get, the more survivability. Or it's going to be a Blight setup. So once we have the Bane on the target in the 5 seconds or whatever it lasts, we can stack the Blight. And Blight is doing the most damage out of all Chaos kills, but you have to stand still and channel it to get the maximum stacks out of it. But it will basically double your DPS, or even triple your DPS once you do that. Or you stay the safe way and say, like, you know what, I use Bane and Essence Drain, both dots, both last for like 6 seconds. And then I just apply the dots and just keep on moving and just dodge everything, because nobody of us has ever tested these new bosses, so we're gonna see it. I think it's better to play like a dot-based build. You dot it, you know, as soon as you dot it, you do maximum DPS, and then you just walk around, try to dodge, and learn the mechanics at all. But yeah, guys, that's it for my League starter, and basically this is now the start. This is like the most important thing here. This is now the start of this series that I do on every single league start, where I just make daily updates. So I'm gonna be streaming tonight, obviously, on the league start, and through the next couple of days, I'm gonna post every day a single a video with my current update, right? With the highlights, what did I find, maybe Exalted Orbs or whatever. What did I do with the Exalted Orbs? How did I make my gear better? What choices did I make? And so on. And then I will just talk about, okay, today is day 1. What are my plans? Next day, we're going to talk about, okay, what did I reach from day 1? From the plans, and what we're gonna do today, you know, and then we're gonna keep on going. In this, in 3.9, it's a little bit different, because usually, I usually make the the series about the full Atlas clear plus Shaper down and sometimes even Uber Elder. It takes me around 4 to 5 days in general. But now with the changed Atlas, this is something a little bit different. So I think we're going to make the series a little bit longer this time, maybe 10 days or so, until we have all the Watchstones and probably until the Awakener in the hardest version is down and completed. And as I said, this is just the baseline. This is what I just made before recording the video. So this is the live-based version, what I'm going to start as the League starter. And once I have currency, probably going to switch to the low life variation. But there is no gearing process at the moment because I cannot tell you today what I'm going to find, how fast will I get whence, and so on. Probably let's talk about today's progression. So the League start in Europe is about 9 o'clock. So as I said, it's about 3 hours, 29 minutes left. So usually I go into maps on the first day, okay? So that means I'm gonna play like 10 hours probably from the League start, and I'm just going to grind up all the campaign mode, basically getting 3 laps done, maybe even farm a Tabula Rasa in Act 9, depends if I'm motivated or not. It's not something bad to do, but in the end, it probably takes you like 3 or 4 hours, depending on how good your gear is. But pre-leveling, doing the Metamorph or doing the encounter is also something you can also do. And this is basically the simple start here, okay? I choose my League starter, this is the way I want to go. And tonight, I want to go push into maps, basically. And then we're gonna talk tomorrow on what did I accomplish, maybe even the first clips about the new Metamorph encounter. Maybe we get some lucky drops here and there. We're gonna see about that. But basically today is just to find out what's new on the new League and try to get to mapping. And tomorrow we're gonna start pushing the Atlas. And this should be my start of the progression of the Conquerors of the Atlas and also the Metamorph League. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out my stream tonight at like my clock, 21 in 3 hours, I'm probably going to start at about 8 o'clock, so 1 hour before League start, so we can chill out, talk a little bit about some builds and stuff. If you want to hang out with me and just, I don't know, like play with me together, basically, on your other monitor or something while you're leveling, we're going to have a great time. So guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.